Alright guys, in this video just wanted to talk about the S&P 500, which is basically the US stock market, top 500 companies, and why I've sold all my ETFs, including the S&P 500. I am 90% cash right now, and I sold the S&P 500 in this area over here, in the 650 area, and I expect this to drop a little bit, and I'm going to buy again once it drops. Why I sold my S&P 500? It's very simple. Number one is that what comes up must go back down, and the number two reason is the situation we're living in right now, the Middle East crisis and economic recession. Okay, so right now the S&P 500 has been going up like crazy since the past few years because of inflation, because of money printing, and a little bit because of economic growth. But in real terms, wages are going down. Okay, inflation is going up, so it's not really success. It's no economic success. It's no economic growth. What we're seeing is purely inflation, and it's reflected on S&P 500. It's reflected on gold, Bitcoin, etc. Now, if you see on tradingview.com and click on the 3-month view, this chart is extremely overextended. Okay, this is not natural. This is not how a normal price action looks like. So generally, if you have an experience like me trading penny stocks, you know that charts look like this. They can drop like crazy. Okay, they can drop back down 50-60%. Now, this likely not going to happen to 60-70%, but I expect this to drop. Okay, now let's have a quick look over the past few decades. Now here, economic crisis, 2008, another economic crisis. I remember this is where my grandpa actually sold all his stocks, okay, when I was a kid, and he was freaking out, and he sold all his stocks, like most of the people did, okay? So he dropped from the top to the end, to the bottom, 54%, which is insane, okay? So think logically, why this cannot happen again? Why can't this happen again one more time, 2 more times, 3 more times? Okay, now this is I think COVID, when the cerveza sickness hit, 36% down. This is when the Ukrainian situation exploded, 25% down. So I will expect this, because of the Middle East crisis, to drop at least 15-20%. Okay, so this is the first major support level, which is in the 500. Okay, so this is a little bit of support over here, not major. So I will expect this to drop a little bit here and possibly go even lower. Now, this is not financial advice, just my personal opinion. This is what I'm going to do. I'm sitting in cash and I'm waiting. So it drops here, I'm buying 30% of my cash. So it drops here, I'm buying the remaining 50-60%, and I'm leaving a little bit if it goes to this level, which is extremely likely. I think the US will recover very quickly, and they will keep printing money. Inflation is gonna go up again, so this chart will skyrocket in a few months, if not in a few years. Now, think long term. This is not a guarantee of success. Okay, investing every month in S&P 500 in ETFs, like many people say on Twitter, it's not a good strategy. Yes, it worked so far. It doesn't mean it's going to work in the future. Okay, countries change, economies change. This may well be a catastrophe in the future, in the next 20-30 years. So if your pension is in these kind of stocks, I will be scared. I don't have any pension. I take all my pension and invest it in different assets. Now, what can happen with the S&P 500? 2 different scenarios over the long term. It could continue to go higher, drop, continue to go higher, drop, continue to go higher. Or, if something happens, it could go as well all the way to this level, 200, 100, okay? You never know, so you need to be careful and always diversify your investments. Don't listen to people that put all the eggs in one basket. Always diversify. My portfolio is extremely diversified in single stocks, okay, in metals, in crypto, specifically Bitcoin and a little bit of Ethereum and little bit of altcoins, not much. And so I'm gonna make another video on silver specifically. I made another one on gold, why I'm all cash now, I sold all my gold. And then I'm gonna make a video on Bitcoin and silver specifically, why I think silver it's not a good investment, and why Bitcoin and gold are actually a great investment. Now, I'm still bullish on the S&P 500 medium term, okay? Not so much long term over the next 20-30 years, but I'm waiting now. I'm just waiting for this to drop, and which is likely to happen because we've seen every single time in a major conflict, like, you know, it happened in Eastern Europe, it happened during the pandemic, you know. So I'm waiting, and I'm going to buy, and it's going to be a very good opportunity to buy at lower levels.